everybody. It is a beautiful evening in downtown Manhattan in Tribeca. We are at the fabulous P.C. Richard & Son Theater. I am Jonathan Clark for iHeart Radio Live. We are here tonight to see an incredible band out of Los Angeles called Hollywood Undead, their new album, American Tragedy, on A&M Octone Records. But before we see the band play live, we're going to go talk to the band in their dressing room right now, so follow me. And here we are with Hollywood Undead at the P.C. Richard & Son Theater, streaming live at facebook.com/iHeartRadioLive. Guys, how's it going?
Good.
Tell us who you are. Give us your names really quick.
I am Johnny Three Sears.
I'm J-Dog.
Matt Damon.
You know, Matt, you've changed. Maybe a better way. I don't know. But I do like the Bourne identity. Anyway.
Thank you.
We went to Twitter, and we asked your fans to sort of send us their questions for you. And many of them want to know, first off, what's up with the masks? Probably never heard that question
Yeah,
before.
I never heard that before. That's a very good one. Thank you for asking that, Twitter fan. It's something like our music we thought was different and set us apart. So we're like, our music doesn't sound like anyone else. Why would we want to look like anyone else? So we thought we'd just change our image up, and it works. You know, you look photos of us, I think it looks cooler than it does just some band with black hair and tattoos. So for us, I think it works.
Now, do you take them off when you sleep?
I never take mine off.
That's terrible. There are children watching. Come on now.
Really likes Emergency, the vitamins.
A lot of vitamin B in my diet.
Well, tell us about the band name. Where does the band name come from?
Most of us grew up in the city of Hollywood as part of our roots, you know, kind of influenced a lot of our music. And the whole Undead thing was like we're referring to a lot of other people, like music's kind of dead, the scene's dead, and, you know, stuff like that. You know, a bunch of robots making music that they don't even write. And they
In Los Angeles in particular, or just in general?
Everywhere. I mean, Los Angeles more so than other places. So we, you know, kind of called people like Undead, and then kind of came about, we started calling ourselves Hollywood Undead, so it just kind of made sense.
And early on, you guys, in trying to get a record deal, faced some sort of censorship type of issues. But you finally found a home with A&M Octone. But sort of talk about that experience and how it affected you and where you are today.
I mean, at the time, it really sucked because we'd worked really hard to write the record to begin with. We'd signed at Interscope, and we weren't, you know, you don't plan to hit those roadblocks along the way. You think once you get signed, you're on easy street and like the whole journey is over and it's easy after that.
That's when the work begins, right?
That's really when the work begins. So we wrote the record, and when we ran into the censorship issue, it was real tough on us because we'd written a whole record without that in mind, and then all of a sudden it's like you got to rewrite these songs and recreate all these the songs that we cared about at that point. You know, that they had grown on us quite a bit. So we said no. So we went through a waiting period. We decided instead of rewriting the record, we were going to wait it out until we found, like you said, a home. And A&M Octone came along. And kind of, I guess in a sense, rescued us from that, because at that point, I think we were all pulling our hair out. What are we going to do type thing. We had a completed record and no place to put it. And, you know, the rest is history, and we've been moving along ever since. Now we're obviously on our second record and moving forward, so it's been good.
Some Twitter questions. This one's from Marijuana Awesome. No, I'm just kidding. It's Morgana Awesome, actually. If you
I like the Marijuana Awesome.
If you could be reincarnated as any animal in your next life, what would you come back as?
Party animal. I'd come back as a party animal and live in the forest and just party.
You're already a party animal, bro.
Oh, yeah, I am. Well, I'm going to move to the forest then and live there and party. So, see you guys after the show.
Okay, here's another one from Federico77. If you guys hadn't been signed, what would you be doing right now?
I don't even like imagining that personally. Probably selling marijuana and cocaine.
Again,
to
the
young
kids.
children. That's outside of schools. How about you, buddy?
I'd be hanging out with Marijuana Awesome from Twitter and selling him my marijuana.
American Tragedy, released in April. Is this a thematic album, or is it just a bunch of songs that you had and just decided to put on a record, or is there a running theme throughout?
It's an evolution from our first record because we didn't want to make the same record twice. That's like the biggest mistake I think any band could make, especially if it's your sophomore record, which means it's your second. So we just evolved as songwriters. We got better at what we did. And we, you know, I wouldn't say it's themed because all our songs are so different from each other. It's like it's just something that each song connects different with different people, and you can kind of make your own thing out of it.
The bands that you guys were listening to growing up that's sort of helping you write the songs or influencing the songs and the music that you make today?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of Johnny Cash, you know, and I like the realism that he uses in his songs. You know, he talks from his own experiences and stuff, and I think that's kind of what this band does. We just talk about our own, you know, experiences that we've gone through. You know, we've all served time in Folsom Prison, and we just feel lucky to be out.
I mean, bands like, say, like Bad Brains or things like that, or any sort of like earlier bands that influenced like you two other guys.
I grew up on a lot of West Coast hip hop when I was a kid. That's what really influenced me. Dr. Dre, Easy, you know, all the usual stuff. And then as I got a little older, I started listening to like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. And then it started getting heavier. Then you can kind of hear how our music kind of, the fusion is from all the different stuff that we grew up listening to what we listen to now kind of all comes into play.
Another Twitter question from @SkyBleedAshes.
What a nerd.
Do you? They're great Twitter names, though. Do you have any plans on a third album yet? Is that process happening, or is it just sort of working this record and touring, or?
Well, we don't have plans for like a release right now, but we're always writing. So I mean, we're always stockpiling songs because it's boring not writing music. So we always continue to write, whether our record came out yesterday or a year ago. You know what I mean? So we're already working on our third record, and we don't have any tentative. All the plans are tentative as far as when we'll release it and stuff. And we're still working American Tragedy, and that's our goal right now. But we'll certainly have a third one out there sometime soon.
One final question: was there a moment, say, in the last 2 or 3, 4 years, where you guys started out in the clubs and rehearsal studios and things like that, and then was there one particular gig where you said, wow, we are really sort of taking it to the next level? Maybe it was a gig in America or Europe or someplace.
I think honestly, like you said, we did the clubs in Hollywood for a long time and other bands and stuff like that. And then when we started Hollywood Undead, we did those same things. The first show we ever played outside of like the LA area was in Bakersfield, which was the start of our first tour. And I think that was about 4 years ago or something like that. And 3,000 or 2,000 people showed up or something like that. And that's when I recognized, because we could pull people in LA because all your buddies are going, your family's going, you know, and you can build a following locally. But I think when we went somewhere else for that first time and I saw that there were kids far outside of our area that were willing to show up and come and see us play, is when I realized we were doing something special. And, you know, we had a connection with people in general. And we haven't looked back, man. It was a great moment.
Is there one band you guys would love to go on tour with?
Eazy-E.
I don't think that's possible.
Elvis Presley.
Nirvana.
It all comes back to Undead or Dead or something. But you guys, listen, thanks a lot. Congratulations on the new album, American Tragedy. And I think you guys got a gig to do here in a couple minutes. So we'll let you get set, and thanks so much. Hollywood Undead, everybody. Facebook.com/iHeart Radio Live. Check it out in just a couple minutes. You'll see these guys blow your faces off.
Straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war.
Office boy, hard young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking pan. Hooray for Hollywood, where you're terrific if you're even good, where anyone at all.
And you can